Hey there guys, Smudge223 is here. It's been a while since I've done any videos on this channel. In case you didn't know already, I have pretty much moved to Twitch exclusively, live streaming lots and lots of this game, War Thunder. Now, more specifically, this is going to be the greatest game of War Thunder that I have ever played for a lot of reasons. We are playing in my British 6.0 lineup, which I have been spamming out like a lunatic while I'm in my grinding process. And we are kicking off with the FV4202. So we're just having a little drive around. It's going to take a minute or two for things to actually get going and for us to get to the battle. So, what is there to say about the FV4202, other than the fact that it's a bit of a beast of a tank? Well, that's just it really. This thing's a bit of a beast of a tank. It's got some lovely frontal armour and a beautiful 20-pounder gun. Interestingly enough, this tank only gets a very limited choice of shells. You have the standard AP rounds, the high explosive, and the smoke shells, which we'll unlock later on. So there's not a whole lot of grinding involved, or at least a stock grind isn't too painful once you've got the parts and the fire prevention equipment unlocked. Which makes a change from playing the Challenger and the Centurion, which do require you to grind through some terrible shells before you get to that lovely APDS. And then you just spam that out like a lunatic. So, yes. The FV4202, it's a bit bloody good. Great combination of armor and firepower, and this is a top tier match. Oh yes, we are the top dogs in this game, other than maybe that Centurion Mark III, which I've just noticed. But there won't be too many of those floating around. If we look at the enemy team list, you'll see lots of T-3045s, lots of T-34s, and SU-152s. These are all things that this tank is very, very, very good at killing. Now, when this match gets going, it really gets going. So we're still just driving forward towards the battlefield at the moment. The FV4202 is not the fastest of tanks. We're averaging out about 30 to 31 kilometers per hour. Driving down this road, it will drop down a little bit every time I touch the controls to go around some kind of obstacle. Now, this map is not exactly what I would call one of my favourites. I have a lot of trouble trying to decipher what to do when I'm playing this map, because I almost always get outflanked, and spoiler alert, it's going to happen again. So we're just heading towards the battlefield. Shots are starting to get fired. IS-2 has just destroyed a Centurion Mark III. And I'm just going forward very carefully. I'm making sure I've got teammates on either side of me so that I don't have to worry about my flanks. Russian T-3485s are very, very nippy and very good at slipping in and out of corners. There's Comet 1. Now remember this guy, because he's going to be very influential in this match. Well, more so towards the end, but more about him later. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, so I'm just going to call him Dave. Got some shots being fired over here, and I believe this is where we're going to get my first encounter with an enemy vehicle. Any second now, there is a couple of T-3485s down the other end of this road, who are causing everyone a bit of hassle. Or in other words, causing the M18 a bit of hassle. So we stop, we fire, and we blow his ammo. One dead T-3485. Now simultaneously, the M18 managed to knock out the second T-3485, which is on the left. And he starts shooting something else. So I come out into the open, and there's another T-3485. So we put one into him, hit the fuel tank. Damage, cause some damage to the crew. Line up a second shell, and finish off the vehicle. So just checking my right, checking that flank. There is a T-3045 there. Luckily we spot him. Put a big shell into his turret, kill everyone in the turret. Take aim at the hole, and finish him off. So that is 3 kills already. So I'm already thinking, wow, this has been a pretty good match. I'm looking out there, and I'm aiming slightly to the right so that I can see over around the corner using the third-person camera. And there's a lot of tanks out there. So I see the KV-2, and I've got a lot of painful memories of trying to deal with KV-2s. So I'm going to prioritize him. We fire our first shell, takes out the cannon breach. He now cannot use his gun effectively, so I could focus on something else, but I choose not to, and I keep firing the KV-2. Just causing damage to the horizontal gun drive. Something just got annihilated out there. Was that the M18? I'm not sure. T-34-85E. I don't know what it is about these things, but I always have trouble killing them no matter what I'm driving. And my gun gets knocked out, which is not very good. So I pull back out of the line of fire to start repairing it. And there is an SU-152 on the other side of that building to my right. Not good. So I stop, I start repairing the vehicle, and I'm just praying that my team can keep the enemy busy. Next mine flying overhead. Very pretty. Got Centurion Mark III, who's keeping everyone busy. In fact, he just killed a PT-76, so we've obviously got some good backup. And it was at this point that I start to realise there's an SU-152 behind me. My gun's up at this point, but it is still reloading, so I'm pulling backwards, trying to get a shot at this guy. But he's going to slip around that corner just before he can, and oh, what was that? No! 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 Oh no. Turn around to deal with the T-34-85. But he is dead. He is very dead. I'm not entirely sure who killed him. I think it was an M4A3. But yeah, he's dead, so my cannon breech is now damaged, and that SU-152 is still around that corner. So I drop the smoke to conceal myself while I try and repair this cannon breech. And it also hides me from these SPAA up ahead. I fire a few blind shots just to make sure the SU-152 hasn't pulled out in front of me, because I don't particularly want to have to deal with him at close quarters without my cannon breech working. Unfortunately though, this smoke is not going to last forever. Or maybe fortunately in this case, because the SU-152 decided not to come around the corner, and there's a potato truck in front of me. And the Beast machine gun's going to make very short work of that for a nice, easy 4th kill. Cannon breech back up. We are down to 3 members of crew, however, so we have to be a bit careful. And I come around the corner, I'm looking for the shot against the SU-152, but he drives off. So I think, alright then, I guess we're not going around that corner. So I start looking for more targets. Now there's an IS-2 and an SU-152 and a T-34-85 out here. So fire one into the IS-2's cannon breech, knocking that out. Reload the gun. I'm checking behind me because I've pissed them off and got their attention now, but in a second someone else is going to shoot at them and draw their attention away from me. I don't particularly want to turn the tank around because I'm worried about tanks coming around that corner, so at least then they'll have the front of my hull to shoot at. We fire a shot at the SU-152, who was actually way off in the distance. I just caught the glimpse of him, so finish him off so I don't have to worry about the gun. Then the SU-57 decides to roll out and not check his corners. So fill him up with a breeze machine gun to slow him down, grab his attention, and finish him off with a 20-pounder for kill number 6. 6 kills and no deaths with 2 assists is a good result no matter how you want to look at it. I don't care how good you are, you cannot look at a 6-kill game like that and say that's a bad result. But we are just getting started. Having a little look around, keeping an eye out for tanks. Bear in mind there's still an SU-152 around this corner, or there was. I don't know where he is now, he might actually be dead. Start driving on. Thinking it's probably time to start pushing out, and there's no one watching this flank for me now. So I'm all alone on this side, and I have been for a little while. My team keeps trying to push up, and the enemy team just keeps trying to push us back, and they are succeeding so far. So we start rolling forward. There's an ISU-122 down the bottom of that road. I don't actually think we're going to get to see that guy. Now I don't check my well, you can't see it in the replay because I'm a moron and I don't know how to use the controls properly, but I am checking all of these corners as I go past, but I evidently didn't check it enough. And I get finished off by an SU-85 who's actually hiding back here on the right somewhere. So that's that vehicle lost, but that was still 6 kills to the FE-422. So I jump into my backup machine, the Centurion Mark I, and I love this tank. I have the APDS unlocked. This tank is very nearly spaded. In fact, I think I need to get the artillery support and the smoke shells to have this tank 100% spaded, which is very nice. Now we're going to spend a good portion of the rest of the game in the Centurion Mark I. Not quite all of it. Something's going to happen towards the end, but you'll have to wait and see. There's still quite a few tanks left alive, or quite a few players left in the game on both sides. And I'm already on 6 kills, so I'm happy, but now I want to win. I've built up so many spawn points, I can just keep jumping back into the game, going out in vehicles. I'm not entirely sure why the hell this guy decided to start shooting at me, but he did, so, you know, whatever. I still don't understand that. I've seen a lot of players do that, actually. I still don't quite get it. Just looking at the team list, we are running out of the bigger vehicles. A couple of guys flying around in aircraft right now, which is the main reason I chose not to jump in my Tempest, which is something else I'm trying to spade at the moment. Don't know why I left the Tempest so long to spade, but I've only just recently got around to actually doing it, and I love it. It's brilliant in ground forces, even though I haven't unlocked the rocket yet. Now, the Centurion Mark 1's front plate is very deceiving. It's a bit like a Panther's. It's not actually that thick on paper, but because of the angle, it makes it very, very hard to penetrate. And a couple of T-3485s are going to discover this the hard way. Now then, I know that there's an SU-85 somewhere up here on the right. And I haven't seen his name pop up in the chat messages, so he's probably still alive. So I'm going to drive up here and I'm going to move over towards the right in search of this guy. Now the SU-85 obviously uses the 85mm cannon that the T-3485s use. And there's one thing I've learned from experience in playing this tank is that the 85mm gun that those tanks use cannot get through the front plate of this vehicle, as much as they probably like it to. So we're going to drive up here. Eventually. 2.5 hours later. There's the SU-85. Obviously I couldn't see him at this point, but I'm going to notice him right about now. And there he is. So, panic shot. He panic shots as well. I aimed slightly too far to the right. I was trying to avoid that commander's hatch. It can be a bit troll sometimes. But my gun shoots faster than yours. Slam a shell into the side of his tank. Killed the loader and I think the machine gunner. Fire again through that hatch. I realise I can pen it because I'm playing with a 17-pounder APDS firing cannon, and he is gone. Kill number 7. So, you know, still not my greatest game of all time so far, but it's a pretty good match nonetheless. Our team is still holding out quite strong. Points-wise, we're about dead even. There are still plenty more tanks to be killed. This Russian team is not going to give up, and one of them has actually just swarmed in a T-44, which is probably making him the most dangerous tank alive in the match right now, if it's used properly. Paying attention to the map. Just having a look around, decided to come around this way. Actually, what happened was I noticed this SU-152. It was actually facing me when I drove past, and for some reason he decided to turn around. Interestingly enough, though, the machine gun was facing my way. But ISU-152, ISU-122, I'm not sure. He's dead. You know, side shot. Its armor can be quite troll from the front, but not when you get around the side of it. So that's 8 kills. This is a very good game for me. And I'm thinking, oh, I might actually be able to get the smoke shells unlocked in this vehicle. So we're driving down this road. There is a T-44 I did go past. I didn't realise he was there at the time. And I think he's still alive. T-3485 from the distance there. I think he's actually on the other side of those buildings, so let me see which of him. Now I notice the T-44. He's just engaged the Crusader AA Mark 1. And there's not a whole lot the Crusader can actually do about that. So I decide, instead of going for the base capture and making myself an obvious target for this guy, I come back to deal with him now. Unfortunately, he kills the Crusader, but he, once again, doesn't check his corners. And he's going to drive out in the open. I fire once. Aim a little too low, hit the engine, set him on fire, and he starts to turn the gun around towards me. But I now know where his ammo rack is. And make short work of the T-44. 9 kills. Yeah. Pretty damn good game. Still not quite my best though. I think about 9, I've never, until today, got more than about 10 kills. But this isn't my best game ever because I got a lot of kills. T-3485. T-3485 number 2. They both fire, they both bounce my front plate. Stop, aim, fire. Turret ring. Killed the commander, I think that was. So stop, reload, fire again. After they bounce a few shells. And I'm just trying to look to get the shots, so I put the shell into the left side of his turret, killed the loader. Slows down his fire rate. Another shot bounces off the front of my turret. These guys just don't know where to aim. Now one of them's gone off to the left. We'll see more of him later. Cannon breach. Commander. Stop. Reload. And I'm not entirely sure what happened to that one. I think it actually skimmed across the top of this tank, but I could be wrong. So where's another T-30-45 gone? I'm looking around. Check this corner. There he is. Panic shot. Miss. This guy's driving away. Instead of trying to go back around that corner and expose my rear to the other T-30-45, I follow him through here. I don't want him to get past me. He can start heading back to B. He could quite easily take care of my tanks that we've still got alive, like the M36. So I come around behind him. He doesn't turn around to face me straight away, and that turns out to be his biggest mistake. 10 kills, 2 assists, 1 death. At this point, this is probably my most profitable tank battle I've ever played. T-34-85E down here. And there's a ZSU-37 off in the distance. We'll see him in a minute. I'm looking for shots in that T-30-45, but I want to check my corners before I drive out in the open and give the enemy team my side. Check the corner. And T-30-45E is going to get away. So he drives off into the distance. He decided he didn't want to mess with me. Or maybe he went round to try and flank me. I'm not entirely sure. But there's an IS-2 over there, which is a very big, scary tank. And he's about to come around that corner. Then the ZSU-37 starts shooting at me. I don't know the IS-2's there at this point, so I stop. Fire. Straight through the hull of his tank. Wreck most of it. Stop, reload. He blows my track off. And we fire another one through his turret, kill the rest of his crew, and finish off the vehicle. In hindsight, probably could have used my machine gun. Now, the camera's being a bit annoying. But I'm looking around because I'm watching that corner, fully expecting the IS-2 to come around. 11 kills. 11 kills. I'm just trying to get this track back up before I do anything. There we go. And here comes the IS-2. Now, I do not know that he's there. But I've had painful memories of trying to deal with these things. So, when he does pop around the corner, I know exactly where to shoot him. And by some miracle, he didn't notice me. But even so, I don't think he really would have had much time. So, he's dead. 12 kills. 3 assists. 1 death. Oh my god. Without a doubt, at this point, the best game I've ever played. And it's still not quite over just yet. At this point, there are only 2 players left on the Russian team. One of them's flying around in a Tu-2S. And the other one, I believe, has not actually respawned yet, but it's this Trump guy who was in the T-30-45. He's now back in the T-30-45. We still have a few players left alive, including myself, but that Tu-2 is going to start causing problems for us. So as the team starts to capture A, I decide to push on the spawn and try and finish off any of their remaining vehicles so that we can end this game and I can go and jump into another one. Or, as I'm thinking at this point, jump out of the battles for a little while so I can sort out my recording software and get this one made into a video. Tu-2S flies over. Oh, no, Trump in the T-30-45 has just killed the M36. The Tu-2S just killed the Crusader AA Mark I, which means there's now only 3 of us left. Myself in Ascent Mark I. We've got another player in the Jumbo. And Chinggis, Jan, Dave, is in the FE-422. You'll remember Dave is the guy I pointed out to you a lot earlier to keep an eye on him. So I stop here, check the road. I'm having a look at the map as well and trying to work out what am I going to do here. Just making sure that these guys, you know, are not under fire. I realise though it's the Tu-2 who's causing problems. But I think I'll just drive into spawn. See if I can finish off a few of their players before they get a chance to drive into A and start wrecking our team shit. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the Tu-2's doing, but he's driven off somewhere, so we're not going to see him for a little while. But we're going to see him again in a minute. You can hear him. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. I think he's looking for targets. He knows that our team is on A, and there we go. Trump in the T-3045 just killed Dave in the FE422. So I'm kind of feeling the pressure a little bit. Now, I didn't actually notice this when I was playing. If I had have done, I would have gone back to A and tried to do something about the T-3045. But I stopped getting to cover because, as far as I know, that TU2 is the only guy currently alive. I'm still waiting for this T-3485 player to spawn in. I didn't notice that he'd actually just drove into A and killed our last guy. So I jump out of the vehicle, the Scent Mark 1. I have had enough. I want to kill that TU2 because if nothing else, he's going to be spotting for the T-3485 who we just caught a glimpse of. So I'm going to jump into the Tempest. There we go. Now at this point, I have no idea that Trump is even alive. But I do know there is a TU2S causing aggro for my team, so I'm going to go and try and do something about him. Now the Tempest is an absolute powerhouse of an aircraft. It's not quite the best plane I could bring out in this lineup. But the best plane I could bring out in this lineup would be the 6.0 Seafire. I think it's the FR-47, which I do have unlocked, but I have not purchased it yet. And besides, I am enjoying the Tempest. At 5.7, this plane is more than adequate for dealing with the TU2S. So we come up, I am using stealth ammunition, so there we go, land some hits. TU2S whizzes by me. Actually, one of his engines has actually already been knocked out before I even got to him, so I'm not entirely sure how that happened. But I fly in and I finish him off with the guns. TU2S is down. 13 kills. And there's Trump. He's been killed by the M4A3E2. And now he's jumped into the ISU-122. The other guy is in the SU-152, the TU2 player that I just killed. Now, I'm coming back around. I see the SU-152, fire a few shots, I've got two 500-pound bombs, I drop them, and bang. Kill number 14. Holy shit, I am feeling good at this point. Now, that is actually going to be where the action segment of the match ends, for the most part. I am, however, just going to jump over to our friend in the M4A3E2, or the Sherman Jumbo, because I'm going to spend the remainder of this game flying around, communicating with Dave, trying to decipher where this ISU-122 is, who's also Mr. Trump. Because I don't know where he is. Dave is telling me that he's spawned. I'm telling Dave that I've just killed the last guy, not realising that Trump is actually still alive and driving around in that ISU. And when I was playing this the first time, I actually missed exactly what happened. But I know that the game is going to end in just a few seconds. You can see me up in the Tempest there, whizzing around, doing my thing, trying to spot him, but because of the nature of the map, it is very, very difficult to detect enemy tanks from the air like this, especially as there's so many wrecks of Russian T-34s lying around, and I have no idea what Trump is even driving. The Sherman Jumbo is capping the point. I'm not entirely sure if he actually went ahead and killed him after this, but it's starting to look like maybe he didn't. Because I don't think he's going to have time. The ISU-122 is too far away. The spawn point's just deplete. And the game is won. And wow, I am feeling pretty damn good about that round. That is, without a doubt, the best game of War Thunder that I have ever played, and it was all thanks to this lineup. So guys, it's been a little while since I've done one of these videos, I do realise that. I'm not going to apologise, there is a link in the description of this video below that will take you through to my Twitch account. Live streaming wise, my schedule's non-existent, but I generally get on 2 or 3 times a week. I probably won't be doing too much tomorrow, but I will most likely be able to jump on Sunday for a little while, though I probably will be going out in the evening for Father's Day. And yes, before you ask, this is a custom skin on the FE422, and it's very pretty. So anyway guys, I know this one's a bit long, But I just got this game. I had to record it. I had to show it to you. Thank you so much for watching if you did. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one.